one thing I've been noticing in CDT, there are just some cars that nobody seems to drive. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to CDT. It is me, Ditto. And, from that sentence, you'll probably have worked out that, today we're going to be talking about some cars that I'm pretty sure quite a few people will have, but nobody drives them. Oh, damn. This is a rich dealership. Nice. Anyway, so, the first of these cars is this. The Ford F-150 Raptor. No, it's not a Raptor, it's just a standard F-150. I just don't see them driven anymore, which is what confuses me. I don't see why people don't drive them. Actually, no, I do. They're pretty rubbish, to be honest. Like, look at this. Really, I don't see the wheels. Like, oh, are those wheels even? Oh. I thought I had it running not standard wheels. Although even these wheels look pretty similar to the ones I was running. But yeah, I just don't see people driving them anymore. It's weird. And here's another car that just isn't driven anymore. Which is why it's in the video. It's the Nissan S15 Silvia. This is the factory version of the S15. Not like the Falcon you saw yesterday. If you watched the video, I mean. If you didn't watch the video, you should probably check it out. It's quite cool. Oh, I've got all the ping in the world, and there's some flaming aeroplanes here. I kind of see why this car just isn't driven anymore. It's kind of just a bland four-door Nissan. Is it even four-door? No, it's a two-door saloon. Nah, it's a coupe. Four-seater coupe. See? Back seats. Even if my hair is exposed. It's just kind of bland. But then again, that goes for like 70% of every single JDM car collection. You know, all those JDM kids that are like, oh my god, it's a Civic. Like, they will have an absolute meltdown whenever they, like a good melt. They will go absolutely ecstatic if they see something like a Civic. And I have no clue why. When a Civic is just a Civic. Even if a laptop Civic is something different. I crashed it. Anyway, the one thing that I like about this car is its right-hand drive. Wait. Yeah. Yeah, it is right-hand drive. That's not very common. Good. And other than that, yeah, it's just really basic and boring. And yet, here's another car. Oh, I flipped it already. It's actually not a car, though. It's a van. The Ford Transit Riot Control van. Released with the first police update, I think. Or it might have been the second one. I know it's a car released on the 3rd gen map, so, that's a positive. It's a van. Every time Foxy gives us a van, they tend to be disappointing. This one's different. I just wish we could have an option to remove the lights and the riot control shield. Because I would love to just make memes about a random white transit. It's actually all-wheel drive, which means that you can go rallying in it. Why you would want to do that, however, is another matter. It's a shame, I just don't see them driven anymore. It's weird. Although, to be fair, they are relatively old. But then the Corvette C7 is really, really old. And that still gets driven by everybody. Even if the majority of people that do drive them are just 5-year-olds that lift the suspension up to the max. Yep, welcome to CDT, everyone. As for how it is, however, it's not bad. Feels quite tight. Maybe a little bit wallowy when you corner too hard. Like it wants to go over. All around, not bad. People will probably not realise that they're missing out on something quite fun. I've spun it. Yeah, this one's interesting. The BMW X5. I think it's the previous generation. It's either the previous generation or the current generation. I'm willing to bet the previous generation because the twin kidney grille isn't stupidly enormous, although I think that may just be the X5M version that has the stupid grille. And yeah, I just never see this car driven at all. I feel like quite a few people don't have it either because it's such an easy car to go past. And now, of course, you can't get it at all because BMW has been kicked from the shop. And to be honest, they're not exactly missing out on much. Oh, I'm lagging. It's got, I think it's got like 8 gears. Hold on, we'd have to check that. I know it's already got too many gears if it's got 7, so yeah, that's gotta be 8. Yeah. And no acceleration in 8th because it's got 8 gears. Doesn't even drive that well. It feels quite loose, slippery. Understeers quite a bit. Just not fun. So yeah, if you don't drive this car, but you do have it, don't worry. You're not missing out on much. Might just crash it into a... nah, I'm kidding. That's the one cactus in the game that's... Is that an F5? Oh, I binned it. Just like pretty much every person that has one in real life has done at least once. And it's a similar story for this, the Volvo XC90. Which is actually not too similar because... Oh, that's a Supra. Of course it is. Because unlike the X5M, I quite like this. It's very charming. It's got the Scandinavian charm. Love it from Sweden. It's a big 7-seater. And I always used to do family role plays with this. Then I got a G-Wagon 6x6. But I still do a couple of family role plays with this because it's fun. In fact, it's a really good family car in real life. But that's probably what leads to its decline in CDT popularity. It's a good family car in real life. It's just a big old bus, really, and no, they don't seem to get much love in CDT. If only we could, like, Bugatti swap these things. Just make them complete memes. I'd probably see quite a few more of them being driven around the city. Not on the track, though, because, like, nobody takes them on the track. Apart from me, I did once do a circuit race in it. I crashed it, I think. Seems accurate for my driving skill. You can just hear the BMW fans not just saying, look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power. Yep, this is the typically American answer to a European classic, the BMW M3. This is the Cadillac CT... Oh, my door's closed. I thought I opened it. This is the Cadillac CTS-V. A car only known because it's in the police race. Other than that, completely forgotten. Which is a shame. I think this car turns quite nicely. Even if my phone lagging makes it turn too much. Not helpful. As for the rest of it though, it's effectively just a pretty boring saloon. And why does it keep randomly spinning? With a basic little boot ducktail and a bonnet vent. Nothing of interest. Kind of like where I have beef with the Charger Hellcat. Just a shame that not too many people drive this, because unlike the Charger Hellcat, this thing turns and drifts as well. Just a bit too much. Oh, that might be because I'm running it on slicks. Maybe. Just a thought. Yeah, that's probably why it drifts the way it does. Still, a pretty decent car. I spun it again. Yeah, it has a serious spinning problem, but I don't know why. I might try and accelerate up to a speed and then just... Yeah, no, it has no grip on these surfaces at all. Hold on. Let's try and get to an area of snow. And then just turn. Gone. Yeah, no, it spins too much. 'Cause it's American. Doesn't like corners. So what about the typically European answer to the BMW M3? The BMW M3. This one being the G80 version. So, hold on. The BMW naming system is really complex. You've got the E30 M3, that's the first one. Then the E36, that's the drift BMW M3 in this game. The E46, which isn't in the game. The E90, which I will actually show you. Damn it. Hold on. Yeah, I'm just going chaotic right now. Right, so this is the E90. This is the E30. This one's the G80. This one's the F82 version of the M3, the M4. This one's the E36. And then I think that's it. Oh, and there's also an F80 Touring, but I see people driving that quite often because it was a free car. As for the Saloon, though, not very common. And rightfully so, because I don't like this car. The looks just put me off. It's quite a big shame, because it hides a half-decent car. Maybe a little bit, not good on the, maybe it's just a bit not good whenever it's not on tarmac, but on tarmac, it's a driving dream. Just a shame it's got grills that make it look like it's been snorting too much, what's the word? Cocaine. And here's what I refer to as Big Boy. The Hummer H1. I think quite a few people have this. They just don't use it. Which is a shame. This is my one. It's got, fully raised suspension and fully widened suspension offset as well. Hence the nickname Big Boy. It's pretty... Ooh. Oh. I crashed it. And the reason they don't drive it, it's because it's enormous. Like, seriously enormous. Oh, my house is despawned. Which is a shame, because it can actually drift quite well. Like, look at this. Yeah, it does need quite a bit of oomph behind it if it's not tuned. But when it is tuned, it's not half bad. Just try not to... Well, that's not a Supra. It's a Camaro with silly thin wheels. Ugh. But, yeah, just keep it off the road, because on the road it's kind of a nut. Ha! Completely flat roof. Still, have a look at the wheels. Now they're gone. Nobody talks about the original 935 Porsche. Because they're all talking about the new Dakar. everybody forgets the car that inspired it, which is this. As I just said, the 935 Porsche. Completely in Martini livery, I think. Is this supposed to be? Nah, this is not Martini livery. Which is a shame, because it's quite a nice car. Just nobody drives them. Nobody. At all. So it's nice to be shining a light on it. Back on my old YouTube, I tested this car against the Audi Quattro. I may recreate that video. Even if it won't get many views. But still. This car's criminally underappreciated. Just no one drives it. They go to the rally race, they take a Quattro. They go to the mountain race, they probably will also take a Quattro. It's just outshined by the Quattro in every way. Which is a shame, because I personally think this rallying 911 has much more charm. Even if they were made today, they'd be made by the same person. Isn't there something so cool about a lifted 911? The only time 911s had extra height. But footballer's favourite, anyone? Yep, is this the third generation Bentley Continental GT? I can't remember which one. They're effectively all the same. Same body, kind of. Same design, effectively. All the same. And loads of footballers drive them and give them stupid paint jobs. As for CDT, however, well, they just aren't driven at all. It's rare to see people have actually bought one. They just aren't on the roads anymore. I'm pretty sure these have been forgotten. Like, quite a few cars around that. That's not what I meant to press. Move. Right. I'm pretty sure most cars around their price bracket have been forgotten. I know the BMW M8's forgotten. I was planning on adding it into this video, but I'm going to do something else with it instead. Stay tuned for that. But look, this is forgotten. Oh, the M8 and the i8 have gone. Yeah, now they've pretty much all been remembered. Apart from the 570S. But those do get driven, as those of you that keep up with my community posts will know. This one's just sort of exists. It's not even a Bentley I'd pick. If I was going to drive a Bentley Continental, I'd just pick this instead. Not this. And to be honest, that's a good thing. I don't like the Continental. But at least this one's a bit more interesting. This doesn't even have an interior. Then again, no one remembered when the M8 got an interior. Oh look, it can rock crawl. Very cool. The rock crawling, I mean. Not the car. Don't lie to me. I bet you'd forgotten this car even existed. Because it's so forgettable in real life. Apart from quite recently when Ferrari announced they were doing a roadster version of it. Kind of out of the blue, but, you know. What's Ferrari without surprises? Anyway, so this is the Ferrari Roma 2019 car. One that I really don't care for. It's a hybrid Ferrari. And that's all I have to say on it. It's kind of very much like a hardtop version of the Portofino, which itself was a successor to the California, neither of which I care for. Ferrari just haven't managed to hit the mark with any of their GT cars recently, apart from the 812 and the F12. Come on, Ferrari, get with it. And as for the car in CDT, yep, no one knows it exists, no one cares that it exists. They're just all like, oh cool, it's a Ferrari. Wow. And then they'll ignore it and move on to something good, like a 458. Or a 488. Or an F12. Actually, no, an F12 less so. Let's talk about that. Be honest with me, when was the last time you saw an F12? I mean, everybody just tends to go for a 458. Or an 812. Or a GT3 RS. Or even a 488. No one goes for the F8. And rightfully so. 3.9 litre V8. Pretty much the same as a 488. It's just an evolution of the 488. I miss when the baby Ferraris were special, like the 458, the 308. That's a big gap, but still. Even the 296 is good. We need to see it added to CDT. But I reckon Foxy will just do the thing he does with all the baby Ferraris, put them between 250k and 500k, and go, job done. Which is why most of them are forgotten. Well, not too many of them are forgotten. It's just this, basically. So then they tried to spruce it up by adding a body kit. I think this is Liberty Walks. No, it's definitely not Liberty Walks. Liberty Walk does really cool body kits. Stupid body kits that just unleash my inner need for speed child. Yeah, I can't remember who made this body kit. And I don't care either, because I'm never going to use it. You do a 250k to 500k car meet, the last thing you expect to see is an F8. And to be honest, you're not missing out on anything, so let's move on. I may or may not be making a Bond reference here. Definitely not trying to pay homage to that one really famous shot of Sean Connery and an Aston Martin DB5 on a corner of an Alpine pass. Yeah, this is the Aston Martin DBS Superleggera. When was the last time you saw one of these? It's funny because I know a lot of people that have them. And I know loads of people that never use them. Which is fair, they are a GT car. The turning is a bit severe. It's either on or off, there's no flow. Really no flow, actually, I don't like it. Handles quite poorly. Which is probably why they're just sheltered away. Yeah, that's a good thing. But it does mean you can make loads of Bond references. Or at least you could. Because this was released before the DB5. And those are pretty common. Oh, I've just completely scrolled to hell. But this one just isn't common. It never caught on. And I don't see why. I mean, it's kind of weird for an Aston. It's not exactly genteel. Or, you know, what's the term? Suave, sophisticated. It's a bit American. Oh, and I've lost all my viewers. Bye. Thought we were done. Wrong. Let's talk about the Ford GT from 2017. This one's in mock-up Gulf livery because I can't get a wrap for it. Foxy, you should add wraps for normal cars. It'd be really cool. Please do it, Foxy. When was the last time you actually saw one of these? And if you'd give me the police race argument... Alright, what about when was the last time you saw one of these that wasn't in standard spec? Pretty much never. They have faded to obscurity. And that point was only made worse that when they put them in the police race, while also being in the same race as the McLaren P1, which is obviously what everyone else uses. And for good reason. Just doesn't feel good. This is a real insult to the name of the GT40. See, I can be nice to American cars. The only problem is the GT40 was part British. That's the part that made it handle well. So quite a big part if you ask me. But don't ask me because I'll give you a stupidly long opinion and then say everyone else that doesn't agree with me is wrong. Because I'm from the internet. Welcome to the internet. Good song. And then the last car of the video. The McLaren F1. No one uses it. There's actually 3 different versions. There's the LM from Season 2, the standard one, and the long-tail GTR from the big 800 Robux car pack that's on rotation. And to be honest, this one's probably the worst of the bunch. Actually, no, it's better than the long tail, I'd say. I like it more. It's just never used. I don't know why. There's not even a car I can think of that would replace it. It's just not used. It's a shame. Because celebrity-wise, everyone uses them. And crashes them. Seriously, which celebrity hasn't crashed a McLaren F1? Ooh. It's very cool. It's got 3 seats. Which means I can take 2 friends. If I had 2 friends. So yeah, that's pretty much all of the cars for today's video. I'm thinking of making a part 2 to this. Because I could easily do that. What do you guys think? Comment down below. I'm trying to think of some witty comment to end on. I'll just end it the same way everyone else does. There, I crashed it.